Hi, today we're going to show you how to swap bearings out in primary clutch of an Outlander Renegade 650, 850, 1000R, probably some OG mavericks, anything that has this style of clutch on it. You can use video. I didn't research every single model. We have a 22 850 Outlander. I just noticed a lot of the same. So if you got these models, here it is. Before we get too far, Hunterworks belts, best on the planet. Had them about 4 years, 40,000 plus, less than 1% failure rate. Great belt. Check us out on Instagram. Got a new Instagram page at Hunterworks1. My son Hunter works here now, created it. Got a new mobile site. Check that out on your mobile device. Subscribe, ring the bell, like, do all that good stuff so you know when we have new videos out. All right, so let's get to it. We were doing another video on how to remove primary clutch and put it back on, torque it correctly. And so right in the middle of that video, I decided it'd be a good time to do a bearing video and talk about this expensive grease that they use. Of course, we got a whole video on this grease. We got whole videos on bearings, unsealed versus sealed. Please watch them. I'll put an end card at the end of this, so there'll be 2 spots. You know, I can do like this if you want me to, but at the end you can click on those videos. Okay, so let's switch camera views. Hopefully you watched our videos to get you to this point. We got the back half of the clutch here. The first thing you're going to do is take the spring cup off. Now, with it may come this washer. It may not. There is a direction on it, so note it. There is a what they call a collar. Now, zoom in right there. It has a little edge to it. Edge goes down. You set that off. If it all needs cleaning, clean it, wipe it down with whatever. We can re-grease it shortly. Now, this thing has a one-way bearing in it. These little pins, they will pop out on you. Let's just twist. Let's see if we can do it this way. Keep them from flying everywhere. We're going to just twist. Oh, there it goes, up with pressure. And I heard them. Okay, set that off to the side. Look at there, I caught them. I think I'm going to make a habit of turning this. Well, I won't know when we're taking it apart, will we? All right, now then, on the back of this, I'll set this off to the side. On the back of this, you got a little clip right here, holds this bearing in. All right, now, unfortunately, this is take 2 for me on this, because I didn't turn this camera on right here. I just left the one we're talking on now. All right, so these, I don't want to damage my bearings, so I'm not taking these out. They were out in the last video. I am sorry. I'm not going to damage them. And that's the deal, is because there's not much of a chance for you to maintenance on the bearing themselves. Chances are you're just going to replace them anyway. Now, since we're at that point, I suggest OEM only, not aftermarket. And now the new bearing number ends in a 377. If you look up its bearing numbers, the old numbers are 375, and it's been superseded with this 377. What's the big difference? Would you believe sealed versus unsealed on both sides? But why in the world would they go to unsealed? Because they're turning this wide assembly into one big bearing. Okay, this grease, of course Hunterworks sells it. This is the factory grease right here. Kluber's Isoflex NB52, high dollar stuff for barium soap complex, thickener in it that's slicker than owl snot. The only grease to use, by the way, I want to recommend. We don't make much money on it, but we have it because it's correct, and that's what we do here. We ain't gonna do nothing unless it's correct. The same as these bearings. I wouldn't tell you what to do on bearings. I can go be a dealer for cheap Chinese bearings from God knows who and sell them to you and make $10 a piece on it. I ain't doing it. We just do stuff correct, whether we make no money or not, and we're gonna explain that to you, okay? So you'll end up taking a punch or something, put it inside and tap it out. It's not rocket science. I'll sit here and show you how to tap a bearing out. You're probably gonna mess it up anyway, okay? So now reassembly, easy. Set the bearing in here. I use switch camera views. A tap, fell right in. I put my little ring, locking ring on the back in. All right, behoove you to wipe the back side of this off, any excess grease. Now, in my mess up video, I squirted a little bit of this. Comes in this syringe from Hunterworks. FYI, so it's made in China on the syringe, but it ain't the dang grease, I can promise you. So you squirt a little bit in, rub it around with your finger, wipe it off on a good rag, okay? Very easy. Probably is not a bad idea. Maybe we'll get them on site at some point to sell these little pins and springs here. So it's not a bad idea either to replace them. Also, if you'd like to lose engine braking below about 5 miles an hour, don't put the pins in, because they just lock this bearing in place where it can't turn when the primary clutch opens up and the belt drops down on the bearing, where it can't turn and you get engine braking. So if you'd like to do away with that, just don't put the pins in. Okay, the one-way part is not the bearing. The one-way part is the pin. All right, so now back to the overhead view here. So we're going to take our pins and springs, and of course mine's done got all together. We're going to put them in there. All right, there's that one in. Let's see if I can maneuver this. All right, and we're going to put them in there. I'm going to hold them with 2 fingers. You're going to set your bearing assembly down, get it started. And once you get started, move to all index fingers. Get it down. It'll get underneath there. Let's see, there's going to be a spot. You push them in, you can feel it. Push them in. Easy peasy. You're going to take a rag, wipe off any grease. It will behoove you at this time. Take some brake clean. Wipe the surface off of your clutch. I would wipe the shaft off on this clutch. And also inside this little hole here, because that's where the governor cup meets up and you need it dry and clean. And then we're going to take our spring cup. Mine already has been cleaned and re-greased, but that's why it's so freaking sticky. All right, so let's assume yours is not clean and you cleaned it all up. You're going to take a little bit of that same grease, just a teeny tiny bit, rub it around on the flat side of this washer. Flat side goes down, the collar side goes up here, and then now we're going to slide it all around. Once again, any grease gets on the outside of the shaft, wipe her down. And now this is ready to go back on the vehicle with all new bearings, OEM, the best grease on the planet. Like I said, please watch videos on the grease and the bearings. Hear a little more about it. Hunterworks belt, best on the planet. Subscribe, like, and Instagram, on Facebook too. Instagram at Hunterworks1, new mobile site. Check us out. If you need me, holler at me. Hunterworks.com. Don't bother the telephone, never stops ringing. So it's hard to get through. Thank you.